So in today's lesson, we're going to look at rounding numbers to significant figures. And this is something I always used to struggle with, but just recently I've learned this trick that's made it so much easier. So that's what I'm going to take you through today. And hopefully at the end of this video, you'll find, yeah, rounding significant figures will be no trouble for you in the future. So what we do is we look at this first one. So we've got four questions here. We're just going to start with this first one, and we're rounding the number 5.415843 to four significant figures. Okay, so four is the number in the brackets there. And what we do first of all is we just count four places to the right. Okay, so our number's four, so we're going to go one, two, three, four. And then when we get there, we can just put a line like that. Okay. Now what we do is we can start writing our number. So we go 5.41. Okay, and we stop there. And with this last number, we just have to look at the number after the line. And if that number's above five, we round up. Okay, so that five is going to go up to a six because that's an eight. Okay, so if that number there was I don't know, a two, we would keep that as a five. Okay, but because it's an eight, we round up. And that's it. Okay, so 5.416. Okay, so let's do exactly the same with this one. So here we've got two, okay, and it's the same number as the first one, but we're rounding to a different number of significant figures, so just two this time. So we're going to go one, two, and then draw our line, okay, so just counting from left to right the number of significant figures that we're rounding to. So we go one, two, draw the line, and then we can start like we did. So we go 5 points, and then we just have to check what the number after the line is. And in this case, it's one. So I'm going to keep that as a four. Okay. So just like with the previous example, if that was I don't know, an eight or a nine, I would round that up to a five. But because it's less than five, I'm just going to leave it as a four. Okay. And that's it. So that's the number rounded to two significant figures. Okay, so this next one's a little bit different, all right, but I'll show you how we do it. So here we've got three significant figures, and I'm just going to do exactly the same as I did with those first two. But what I'm going to do is just disregard all the disregard all the zeros. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first non-zero digit, which in this case is this four here. Okay, so I'm going to count one, two, three, and then draw the line there. Okay, so it's three significant figures. I count one, two, three, draw the line there. And now what I do is go 0.00040. And I just need to check now. I've got a five here. The next number is a six, which means I'm going to round up. Okay, so that's going to go up to six. And that's it. Okay. And again, just like with the first two examples, if that was less than five, I would keep that as a five there. But because it's above five, I round up. Okay, so this last one is it looks a little bit different. It's using scientific notation this time, but it's actually pretty easy. Okay, so don't let this confuse you. So here we've got we're doing two significant figures. Okay, so I'm just going to start with four, and we'll go dot point, and I've got a seven here. Oh, sorry, I've got to count. So we'll go one, two. And I'll put my line there. Okay. So I've got 4 point, and I've got a seven here. The next number's a two. And that means because it's less than five, I'm just going to leave that as a seven. Okay. So I'll leave that like that. And then we just put our times 10 to the power of four. So we just carry that down. Okay. And that's it. So yeah, I think probably the first two are pretty easy. The second two are a little bit harder. But just remember with C here, you just disregard the zeros. Okay, so you start counting the significant figures with the first non-zero digit, which in this case was the four, and then with the scientific notation, you just you just do it exactly the same, but then you just write the times 10 to the power of whatever it is that you're dealing with. Okay, so hopefully that makes rounding to significant figures a lot easier for you in the future.